There's some charm with older buildings, and I certainly love historical facilities, but when it boils right down to it, the functionality of what we have is not charming.
I left there in July the 1st, I think, in 1986. So that would be 27 years after I got there, 59, I think.
Evidently, when it was originally built, it must have been built on a faulty foundation, because since day one I've heard that, there's been problems.
I know as the years went on, sometimes you go to work in the mornings, maybe you couldn't get this door open, or that one is shut and you can't open it, or else sometimes you was leaving, you wanted to close the door and it didn't close.
If you look now, you see the cracks. Some of the secretaries at their desks will roll backwards. I know that one time when I ordered a new copier that had to be kept in a certain square of tape on the floor or it wouldn't run, because it had to be even to run.
The floors were coming up and down at night, I guess, whatever happened.
We've got a boiler that's on getting ready to go out. That's a huge expense if we don't build that. We're going to have to replace a boiler within the next year to two. So if we don't get something constructed, that may be an additional expense that we're going to have to deal with.
We've gone through probably at least 100 drill bits since I've been here, just trying to get through running cable. But the other problem that we have is the electricity. It's an old building, so the electrical part of it isn't probably as good or as grounded as it should be, and we're constantly struggling with keeping this building grounded securely.
Obviously we've got structural issues that we're concerned about. We walk in every day and see cracks grow, chairs roll across the floor. We are going to have someone come in the near future and just check out the structural viability of this building to make sure that it's going to hold us until we can build something new, but there's a real concern.
Although it's just a two-story building, there's 2 flights of stairs, and we do have elderly people. We have visitors that find the stairs difficult.
We have a system not quite as sophisticated to keep our servers cool. We had to bring in just a standalone air conditioning unit, and we just close the doors and blow cold air in there, especially in the summertime. This building is really hard to cool, and we struggle keeping those servers at a temperature where they can operate safely and productively.
One of the things that at this point that we run across departmentally is that we're scattered throughout the building. So, half my staff is downstairs in the business office, the other half is upstairs. So I'm constantly back and forth, me personally back and forth, working with 2 different groups of people rather than as one big cohesive unit, which I think would, in the new facility, would be an optimal situation of having us all grouped together where we can work together in those terms and make it a lot easier.
You can probably tell from behind me, I'm up to the ceiling. There is not enough room. There's over tens of thousands of transcript cards, which are sacramental records. We haven't been able to put those on computer yet, so we do it individually. Those are still sent to us. There's all the records of the churches, the bishops, etc., dating back to 1927. And of course, as an archivist, you must always have a hard copy. But yes, we would like to get so that when somebody calls in for a transcript card, I can just look at the computer instead of actually having to go into the vault, into the filing cabinets, and actually look for a hard copy.
One of the biggest issues that we have with the technology and this building are that it's so hard to run cable to the new things that we want to put into it. So when we put the new digital press in, we had to run electrical lines and conduit outside of the building and into that room. There's no way for us to really go through these walls economically, and I hate to say it, but I don't want to drill any more extra holes in the walls that are here now, just to make it safe.
From a design standpoint, we'll obviously design in enough power and infrastructure to support the current technology. We'll try to look forward to what's possibly new coming out, but at least from a wiring standpoint, from a technology standpoint, we'll have the ability to provide an infrastructure that better supports intranet and internet and intranet in order to support the business that we do.
If these servers were to go down because of heating issues or cooling issues, no bookkeepers in the entire diocese would have access to their books for the parishes, so no checks, no payroll, that sort of thing for all the parishes here in Amarillo.
There's barely enough parking for us to park. So when we have a number of people come, as for priest meetings, presbyteral council, international priests, whatever, there's very limited parking.
I get here early enough that I get one that, you know, doesn't flood or something like that. But no, it will be nice to have a nice parking lot that's solid and free of bumps, and that you can get in and out of without bottoming out when you're trying to get in and out of the parking lot. It'll be nice.
Well, I'm very much in favor of building the new Chancery office, because that one down there, to keep it in repairs will be a lot more expensive, I think, than to build a new building. So I'm very much in favor of it. And of course, I'm also in favor of it because there'll be a place for the museum.
We have so many wonderful artifacts, and there's just not room to display them all or keep them as they should be kept. Some of are in storage that I think really the people should be able to see these things, and I think it's important. How the diocese started, how it was maintained, and how it grew, and that it's still growing is a magnificent story. And I think always, as you hear them say all the time, you don't know where you're going until you know where you've been.
The proposed building would be a vast improvement over current working conditions. Along with the museum's much-needed upgrades, individual department layouts will be streamlined to the needs of the staff. To the right of the reception area will stand a new chapel, and an exciting 150-person dividable meeting hall will also be included.
I would like to say on behalf of the entire staff here that we appreciate so much the support of the people of the diocese, that we are able to do a lot of things that we haven't been able to do in the past because of your generosity, and we certainly appreciate the fact that you're out there supporting us day in and day out with your gifts and your treasures.
I hope that all of you will be very receptive to what the bishop is trying to do to build us a new Chancery office along with a new museum. And I certainly support both of these things very, very much. And I hope that the people in the diocese will come together in support to have that unity, the oneness among all the people in the diocese.